gradually bring the power back, slow the aeroplane down, let the engine cool down. And also when you see it coming into land, you'll see the enormous amount of flap the aircraft has. The aeroplane is a 4 to 5 ton aeroplane, so it should take up a huge amount of runway, but the amount of flaps on the aeroplane mean that the approach speed is as low as 100 knots.
How are you going to get there then? And he goes, oh, he stops. He goes, this is not right.
Oh yeah, that's it. Oh, it'll work, yeah.
He said, so move that in.
Demonstrated like a 5 ton aerocraft very shortly. The B-25 is going to lead the formation, so the aircraft all take off and start cutting the Allied air forces. Very, very useful aircraft with a reasonable bomb load, with a range of around about 800 miles, and it was used as a tactical bomber. So if you wanted a bridge taken out in Italy or northwestern Europe, the Mitchell was the perfect aircraft to do it. Somewhat outshined by the heavies, the B-17s and Liberators, it was much as valuable of them, although it wasn't doing a strategic job, it was doing a tactical job, along with the B-26 Marauder, to within bombing range of those B-25s. Having worked out that at the lightweights they could just about get airborne before they fell off the front of the carrier deck. And the plan was to get around about 200 miles off the coast of Japan, take off, bomb Japan, and then fly to China. Unfortunately, they encountered some Japanese fishing boats 100 miles further out than they wanted. Because they thought their secret had been discovered, they launched them early, and that was led by General Doolittle. They bombed Tokyo. It was a very small bomb load because they couldn't carry much. Anyway, that's the B-25. Running in from your right, the Red Bull Air Force. skilled pilots to fly that close together in such a mixed bag of aeroplanes.
We're talking about the pilots in the cockpit of the B-25. We have Frederick Handelman and Ludwig Reiter. They are in the cockpit of that B-25 as they lead the formation in from left to right.
26 that were doing hard yards, flying in low at kind of 1,000 feet, 2,000 feet, bombing from very, very low heights with incredible precision. And this plane, amazingly, was flying operationally until 1979, still being used in Korea and Vietnam War. Wow. And breaking away to do its own display now.
B-25, lifting now.
About 1,500 horsepower, but of course you've got to remember that this airplane is incredibly light compared with its wartime set. The aircraft doesn't have any big heavy valve radios, bombs, guns, turrets, so it's a very, very lively aeroplane, as it's about to demonstrate. So the World War II for the aircraft.
Yeah, I mean, look at it, you can see how kind of manoeuvrable it is. I mean, it's really much more... It's more like it is.
If the airplane looks slightly familiar to you and you're of a certain age, my age, flying condition for the making of movie Catch-22, and fortunately for us, a lot of them survived afterwards. So for the Red Bull Air Force, this is actually a very practical aeroplane. This is effective with actual
anti-aircraft guns to hit something that's moving fast. And they were incredibly successful. Another major operation was Operation Strangle.
the sun glinting on that fantastic, highly polished skin. And looks like a bomb door pass. Fabulous display, Frederick. Wonderful. So maybe going off to hold. If you turn your attention.
Now looking over to your right, in the lead now we have the P-38 pulling up into a 3-ship loop with that P-51 on his left wing and the Corsair on the right. Amazing formation as they apex the top of the loop.
fun. Reimer's been flying with the Red Bull since 2000, he's actually their chief.
Flying formation aerobatics is a skill in itself, but to do it in 3 different types of aircraft, where the aircraft perform very differently, the speed differential on top of these manoeuvres, the wing loading as the speed changes, every one of them is different. The pilot's working very hard and doing a grand job during this routine.
And grinning with approval of this. It's just fabulous.
You know, to go outside because you can't quite see the formation. Flying the Corsair is Eric Goujon. Eric is a French pilot who he's been flying a lot of various times throughout his career. He started as a Mirage pilot in the French Air Force, and he's flying Spitfires and Corsairs in France and with the flying balls. So he is again a very experienced warbird display pilot. Now we've just gone into a 3-ship led by the P-38, followed by the P-51 and the Corsair for a beautiful 3-ship tail chase. So the camera's ready for this.
Between 250 and 270 knots, just over 300 miles an hour. And that's the kind of performance the aeroplane would have had in combat. Certainly all aircraft.
They disappeared off to our left-hand side to reform, I think. Here we go, in for the left-hand side, cameras ready. try and get some radio calls on the tannoy for you now. No radio calls, they did it all visually, but that is the flying balls breaking to land. Now I've been going to
Now the Spitfires are cleared. So as Eric touches down to your right in the Corsair, I think you'll agree with me, a thoroughly enjoyable.
If you look at the turbo of the two soldiers, that's the turbos of the chargers. That allowed the engine to produce a huge amount of power at high altitude. And these two Fokker aircraft were effectively the top dog in their class at the 1917-1918. As with all air warfare, since air warfare began, it's always a fight between powerful engines, streamlined aerodynamics, and putting the two together. And this is the two aircraft you're about to see fly are the German answer to the Sopwith Camel and the SE-5.
So I was going to put the radio calls over the tannoy for these two, but actually I then remembered, it says on the programme they have no radios. So Corsair is touching down, soon just passes right to left. Signal from the Drydecker pilot to remove the chocks. The chocks are out. Holding the wingtip. And taking off from the flight line.
Aircraft owned and built by an amazing gentleman called Mikael Persson from Sweden. Mikael is an airline pilot by trade, but he's also a craftsman. He's actually designed these or built these aircraft from original prints, often using original parts. Except with the engine guy with me. It's very rare to see these aircraft with original engines. So the second aircraft flying down the line, that's a Fokker D7, so it actually post-dates the triplane. The triplane was an experiment.